Oh, hi guys, welcome to the latest episode of Cricket Draft Insights. Usual story, bit of a rush job, just trying to record a video around various distractions. The County Championship is back with us tomorrow. At the time of recording, squads have been announced. I've been pretty consistent with my selection and my performances since the reset, so I'm hoping to keep that going. Just one or two decisions to make based on sort of injuries and squad news. Very tempted by some players such as Ben Kellaway. I noticed that Shaffer Chauhan is in the Yorkshire squad, but got to get that head and heart balance right. Don't want to let myself down after the improvements that I've made. Really want to keep going in the final few weeks of the season. Try and push towards getting back or getting into that top 1,000 at least. I've still got double captain to play. I'm not going to play that this week. First week back in red ball, players getting in the groove. So I intend to save that probably for next week. Don't want to not use it. And then, we've got rain or snow in the last few weeks of the season. Looks like it's going to be dry. It's rained a little, but it's going to be dry the next few days. So I think some of the spinners, Harmer, Dawson, those sort of players, got my eye on potentially bringing in Dawson. Did captain him in the One Day Cup, but we'll come to that. So it could be set up for the spinners. So I hope you go well in the county championship. The last push, the business end, and you can finish. We can all finish in a strong position there. Moving on to the One Day Cup. Obviously, we've just got to wait a week or two for the final to see where we all finish. I set myself a target of finishing in the top 250. I'm currently 113th. I was actually 90th between the two semi-finals, and I should have screenshotted that. 113th. So obviously, there's a big part of me who would love to gate crash the top 100 in the final. Did captain Liam Dawson in the semi-final. Obviously, there's always an element of fortune, but I was quite pleased with myself because I had Ollie Price the previous week, and it would have been easy and safe to stick with Ollie Price, but I had a vibe and went with Dawson. And getting that balance right between using my instinct and actual research and knowledge has served me well compared to the Tom Lamombe early days of the county championship selections. So yeah, 113th. I hope people have enjoyed that game. I think people really have. Metro Bank Fever and everything. It's been nice because they're the sponsor, and I think they've done some really nice. Even just sharing a few clips on Twitter, etc. And people posting hundreds and everything. Andy Umid is one we've spoken about. Ed Barnard's obviously had a good competition. Can he really pick up in the county championship now at his new side? So I hope you've all enjoyed that county championship and the One Day Cup. Looking ahead, Cricket Draft, they've confirmed a one day international World Cup game. That'll be in India. I think this is a fantastic opportunity. It's been insightful for me to see how many people are really immersed in county cricket. I would consider I've become even more of a county fan. Obviously, a lot of people are very passionate about the England team. Maybe they do only follow the England team, or they follow the international stage with a little more interest. I think this is a fantastic opportunity for Cricket Draft to gain some users. So there's a lot of people in India, Bangladesh, obviously, and other parts of the world. We've already got users from parts of the world. So by having a World Cup game, I know there's a little bit of competition out there. I'm not really familiar with Dream 11. I've mentioned it before. I watched a little bit of the CPL the other day, and they were talking about Dream 11, and I've seen this before. Wouldn't it be great if we could get in a position where there's cricket on TV or the live streams, and they're like, oh, who's in your cricket draft team and who's going to get your cricket draft points? Wouldn't it be great to have that sort of association? But I figure if people in a lot of these countries could play the World Cup game and enjoy it, and they see how good cricket draft is, said before, I think it's very aesthetic. I think it's very user friendly. They then might be interested in playing even the English county games. Because I myself, Sheffield Shield or Ranji Trophy or whatever, could still appeal to me, even though I'm not from that part of the world. A lot of people are just into their fantasy sport. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity for Cricket Draft, the World Cup, to really sell the game. People go online, they're looking for fantasy cricket, One Day World Cup. Well, what are they going to find? They might stumble across Cricket Draft, and then they're users for future games. mentioned before, I think about 8,500 people maybe playing the county championship game. Only about half that in the T20 Blast, which I think was a bit of a surprise to me, and I think a bit of a surprise to Cricket Draft, because I noticed they mentioned about when they started the game, hoping to have about 10,000 people playing the T20 Blast game. When I first came on Twitter, a lot of talk about the county championship and how many people following the county championship, and saw a few comments about people, yeah, they're not as interested in T20, but there are obviously people who are interested in T20. The One Day Cup, I think nearly 2,000 people playing. That was a bit short notice, but the people, everybody's really enjoyed it. So the One Day World Cup, we've got, there's a month yet, so a lot of opportunity to really promote it alongside the county championship. I don't think it clashes. I mean, that's another thing I could talk about when people are talking about the IPL and what I understand about next year, the T20 Blast, the One Day Cup, the World Cup, going to be a bit of a crossover, a bit of an overlap. It could get messy, but this we've got the county championship to focus on, whilst people are enjoying the county championship. Hopefully, getting people interested for the One Day World Cup, and then the One Day World Cup starts in October, and we're into that. We enjoy it. I've done well in the domestic one-day format. Hopefully I can translate that to the international format, and like I say, hopefully just a fantastic opportunity to bring more users to the game who then play the domestic English games or whatever games we have in the future. So yeah, there's just some thoughts on the county championship, the One Day Cup, the One Day World Cup game that's coming. Hope you're enjoying them all. Thank you so much for any interactions on X or YouTube, any comments, any views. Really do appreciate it. Wish you all the best for the final few moments, few days of the summer. So, like I say, it just looks like it's going to be warm this week. I'm rambling. So, how's that?